what are we doing today? Well, I thought I'd share some Horsey folklore, and Dylan's going to help me out because he actually has the folklore. There's a couple of folklore things. So one I had to look up. You can just about find anything on Google. And the other one I kind of got from older cowboys, and then I looked it up on Google. But anyway, the first is what's called the prophet's thumbprint. And Dylan has the mark. My other horse didn't. Let's see. So this indent right here is known as the prophet's thumbprint. And it is just about the size of a thumb. He also has an identical mark on this side. Now my other horse didn't have this, so I actually thought it was some kind of injury, but because it was so symmetrical, I mean, it's literally even on both sides, I didn't know what to make of it. I just assumed it was an injury because dents on a horse can be caused by an injury. But as it turns out, the prophet's thumbnail came from the Prophet Muhammad, which is an Islamic prophet, and or the prophet. And as the story goes, he would test the horses. These were Arab horses, and he would deprive them water and then send them out to the water. And then just as they almost got to the water, he would sound a trumpet, and the horses that return, which happen to be 5 mares, as the story goes, those came back, and he marked them with his thumbnail, and that's why it's called the prophet's thumbnail. So you might be asking yourself, well, how do these marks actually get there? Like, what's the scientific idea? And I've been told that when a foal is born, sometimes their back feet, these are actually their hoof marks as they're sitting in utero. And that's what causes the indent, which would make some sense because I know that when horses get injured, that dents are formed from injury, and it's possible as young fetuses, the injuries caused in utero. So, believe whatever you want. Either way, if you see a horse with these marks, it might be a sign of a good one. Now, the other folklore has to do with, and I don't know what this has to do with where it originated, but there's a whorl on a horse's head right here. It's kind of like a cowlick that we have. And they say that that's his star. This is his whorl right here. And they say if it's centered and a little high, it's an intelligent, good-natured horse, which I can honestly say it's probably anecdotal. Dylan is. If it's low, they're a little on the slow side, and if it's high, they're a little bit wild, and if they have two, they're like bipolar. And I've actually seen that on somebody's horse that was just crazy and basically unrideable. So I mean, I don't know if it's true, but anecdotally, it seems to be true. And actually, there was a PhD study that studied this. I guess there's a PhD study for just about anything these days, but that looked at whorlology, spelled WHORL, and then the study of ology. So that's what we're doing today. We're just spreading rumor and folklore as a little trivia. It's fun to know these things. So that's what we're doing today.